Once upon a time, in London, a robbery happened that shocked the whole world. Not because it was violent, but because of how smart it was. This is the story of the Brinksmat gold robbery, the greatest heist you've never heard of. It all started on a cold morning. November 26, 1983. A group of 6 robbers quietly entered a warehouse near Heathrow Airport. This was no ordinary warehouse. It was the Brinksmat security depot. Inside was cash and gold. Lots and lots of gold. Now here's the twist. One of the guards working there, Anthony Black, had a secret. He was helping the robbers. He told them where everything was. He gave them the alarm codes. He even told them what time to come. The robbers didn't break in. They were let in. They tied up the guards. They opened the vault. And inside, they found 3 tons of pure gold bars, worth 26 million British pounds back then. That's more than 100 million pounds today, or over $120 million. They couldn't believe their eyes. This was not just a robbery. This was a once-in-a-lifetime jackpot. They loaded the gold into a van. And just like that, they disappeared. No alarms, no police, no trace. But stealing gold is one thing. Spending it? That's much harder. You can't just walk into a store with a gold bar. So the robbers needed help. And that's where things got darker. They turned to a man named Kenneth Noy. He was clever. He knew how to melt gold and mix it with other metals. That way, no one could trace it. So they melted the gold, piece by piece. Then sold it across Europe, little by little. Millions were made. They bought houses, cars, businesses. The money was everywhere, but the police were watching. In 1985, officers started spying on Kenneth Noy. One night, a police officer hid in Noy's garden. Noy saw him. There was a fight, and Noy stabbed the officer to death. Yes, he killed him. But in court, he said it was self-defense. And somehow, he walked free. He went right back to living rich. Meanwhile, most of the gold was still missing. And here's the spooky part. Almost everyone involved in the heist met a terrible end. Some were shot. Some vanished. Some died in strange accidents. More than 20 people connected to the robbery ended up dead. One man was found in a burning car. Another was gunned down in Spain. Even years later, anyone who got close to the truth disappeared. It's like the gold was cursed. It brought money, but it also brought fear, betrayal, and death. Some say the gold is buried. Some say it's hidden in banks overseas. But most of it? Still missing. Even today. The Brinksmat heist wasn't just a robbery. It became a legend. The money from it helped build parts of London, luxury homes, maybe even entire neighborhoods, paid for with stolen gold. And guess what? No one really knows where it all went. This is not just history, it's a mystery. One that still lives on today. The greatest heist you've never heard of. The Brinksmat gold robbery. Part 2. The curse of the gold. They had the gold. They had the money. But they didn't have peace. Because once you steal something this big, you can never truly escape it. Let's go back to the moment the robbers realized how much gold they had stolen. Inside that vault, 3 tons of pure, untraceable gold bars. Each one worth more than a house. Each one capable of changing lives forever. But gold doesn't buy happiness. It buys paranoia, and power, and enemies. Who were the robbers? Most of them were small-time crooks, low-level thieves with no experience handling millions. Except for one man, Michael Zinides. He was the brains behind the operation, a smooth talker, a master manipulator. He knew who to bribe, who to threaten, and most importantly, who to trust. But even he couldn't control what came next: melting the gold. They needed to turn the gold into cash. But gold bars with serial numbers? Too easy to trace. So they turned to someone dangerous: Kenneth Noye, a man known in criminal circles as the Golden Gaffer. He owned a scrap metal business, and underneath it, a secret gold-melting operation. Noye took the bars, melted them down, mixed them with other metals, then sold them across Europe as ordinary bullion. Millions flowed into their pockets, like water. And with that money came luxury. Houses in the south of France, fast cars, designer suits, parties that lasted days. They were living like kings, until the walls started closing in. The police are watching. In 1985, 2 years after the heist, detectives finally got a lead. They traced some of the gold to a company in Germany. That led them back to Noye. So they did something bold. They planted an undercover officer in Noye's neighborhood, a young cop named John Ford. His mission? To watch Noye without being seen. But Noye was smarter than anyone expected. One night, he spotted Ford hiding in his garden. What happened next would shock the nation. There was a struggle, a fight. And then, Noye stabbed Ford in the chest. Again and again. Ford collapsed on the lawn, dead. Noye was arrested, charged with murder. But during the trial, something unbelievable happened. The jury believed him when he said it was self-defense. Kenneth Noye walked free, just like that. Back to his mansion, back to his gold, back to the life. For now. Blood money. As the years passed, something strange began to happen. People connected to the heist started dying, violently, one by one. Anthony Black, the guard who helped them get inside the vault, was shot dead in Spain. Another member of the gang vanished without a trace. A businessman suspected of laundering the gold died in a mysterious car fire. Even those who only touched the edges of the heist seemed doomed. Some called it coincidence. Others whispered of a curse. But there was one thing everyone agreed on. The gold brought death, and it wasn't done yet. Where is the gold now? Despite arrests, trials, and confessions, only about £6 million worth of gold was ever recovered. That means over £90 million, maybe more, is still missing. Buried? Hidden in bank vaults? Smuggled out of the country? No one knows. Some say it funded parts of London's real estate boom, luxury flats, high-end clubs, even entire neighborhoods, built on blood-stained gold. And even today, detectives still chase rumors, whispers of hidden stashes, of old men on their deathbeds confessing where they buried the bars. But nothing has ever been found. Not really. The end of the heist kings. Eventually, the survivors faced justice. Zainides disappeared for years, but was later arrested in Spain. He served time. Noye? He thought he was untouchable. But fate had one last twist. In 2000, he was convicted of another murder. This time there was no escape. He was sentenced to life in prison, where he remains today, still haunted by the gold, still surrounded by whispers, still wondering, did he make a deal with the devil? Final thoughts. The Brinksmat heist wasn't just about gold. It was about greed, about power, about betrayal, and above all, about consequences. It proved that, yes, you can steal millions and walk away, but you can never truly escape the past, because history remembers, and sometimes it punishes. So the next time you hear the word heist, don't think of fast cars or clever plans. think of the price, because in the end, every thief pays. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because this is only the beginning. Next week we uncover the museum that hid Nazi gold and still won't give it back. Stay tuned, because the truth is stranger than fiction, and the mystery never ends.